Alan, this is half of grassroots Tory voters would back a reform merger.
It's interesting, yeah. 47% have said that they would back the merging of reform with the Conservatives. I don't think that's particularly surprising. If you look at reform, many of the things that they're saying are things that previous Conservative voters and obviously some Red Wall Labour voters would have a lot of sympathy with and believe in. But I think what's interesting about this is that now it's a new moment, because we've seen a situation where millions of people have voted in a very short period of time, a snap election, where, you know, and as frankly, if Reform had got the same kind of votes, if you look, they got more votes than the Lib Dems, who got 3.5 million votes, 12%, they got 14%. They only got 5 candidates, now 6 with Jim Allister, the TUV. But Lib Dems got 71. We know the Conservatives got 120 seats with just 6 million votes. So I think many people who didn't vote, nearly 50% this time round, will be looking at this and thinking, perhaps we can have an impact actually, because so many people have been disillusioned that, you know, you vote, it's the same two parties, often they share a lot of ideas. So I'm not sure there's going to be that much pressure on Reform to do that. Why would you? As they say, they've got a bridgehead now in Parliament, which their goal is to impact these questions, to be a real opposition, because we should remember that during the last few years, you know, the so-called opposition often agreed with the government and often encouraged it to go further, like around lockdowns and other measures. So whilst I can understand that a lot of members and those around the Conservative voters would like this, I think that there's a new moment, like we're seeing in Europe, actually. They call it populism, like we've seen in America, but actually where a lot of people feel like they haven't been listened to, they haven't been addressed, they haven't been engaged with. People call people names who are concerned about certain things, whether they're cultural, whether they're to do with control of borders, things that used to be seen as common sense by everyone.
Yeah.
And now those issues are all up for grabs and being done, and I don't think that there'll be that kind of incentive for Reform to do it.
Yeah, I don't think Reform should. I think formerly the Brexit Party, they learnt their lesson. They kind of bowed to the Conservatives when it came to Brexit and said, you know what, David Cameron, do your thing, we'll sit back. And I don't think they're going to do it this time. And I think if they allow themselves to be joined to the Conservatives, they will lose that credibility, because clearly the Conservatives have not learnt their lesson. The way that people came out and voted for the Brexit Party, you would have thought that they would have taken those original Conservative values and ran with it, and they haven't. So yeah, I understand why the voters would think that, but and want that. I don't think they should. I think Reform should really, like they have been, start from the grassroots levels and build their way up as a true opposition.
Essentially, Gary's been in touch. Why do Reform need to join the Tories? Tories who want to make an impact should join Reform.
Yes.
Mary says Reform will not join the Tories. Nigel has 5 years to build Reform, and he will. Michelle says it shouldn't happen. So, I mean,
they're refreshing. I think they're
Reform
refreshing.
supporters don't want it.
And I think the thing is, it's been a remarkable success in a short period of time. And I also think that the British public are going to want to have a say, and there should be a referendum now, a proportional representation. One person, one vote. Let's put it to the public. Let's see how that plays out, because people are concerned. There's a lack of trust and a conviction around democracy and these values. And this
We're
would be a
bored
good
of the
way.
two-party system. We're bored of it.
Absolutely.
Honestly.
Well, we're not going to get a vote on that. I mean, that's the bottom line. Labour have made that quite clear. They don't want to do it.
Of course they'd have.
Well, of course, yeah.